Dear Texas, don't you dare try to get fucking self righteous on me. You already know that one of the reasons you're so fond of me is because, if nothing else, I bear a named reference to a man that accompanied a Texas Attorney General on a special mission during the Civil War. He was one of two Attorney Generals that left the office of Attorney General during the Civil War and went into battle. I believe that both of those attorneys general were involved with a special mission to weed out traitors connected to to Texas annexation. I believe that there was already an understanding that people, including people in the role of attorney general, understood that Texas was set to try to engage in some very undesirable activity that would be very disingenuous to the people who struggled with the founding of the republic when it came to determining what was considered to be acceptable, especially in regards to tax policy. Now, right now, it is understood, as far as I know, that there is a family that also bears that name here in Texas that is very important in the transportation sector. As a matter of fact, I understand the Krauses actually provide a very important scholarship for a community college, a ways outside of Harris County, specifically around the intersection of logistics and the transportation sector. Anybody who's anybody knows that transportation costs are usually some of the most substantial for any endeavor. That also includes the energy sector. And transportation also provides a medium through which a variety of derivatives can be involved, as well as moments for security and securitization, as well as insurance. If you commit fraud along these ways, or if you intentionally endanger the people involved, problems can compound. If you decide you're going to prioritize vice and crime in connection with your business operations, that has a way of accruing. And the problem is Texas. Your forefathers knew about this all the way back then. Your blood, your minerals, your people knew about it back then. You cannot negate the possibility that the whole reason I'm here and not dead yet is because your forefathers and ancestors are completely disgusted with what you've done. Now, your little Kennedy scheme and your little hooker gate has gone too far. If you intentionally aided and abetted sabotaging the federal budget process with your little hooker gate, including through coercion after you found a way to get enough buy-in to cover up for your premeditated efforts to assassinate a president and attorney general and other sundry people within the United States that could have effectuated a more civilized policy, then unfortunately it has accrued substantially to the detriment of all of those who agreed to cooperate with you in the face of anything that could be considered reasonable. And not only that, but you are 100% directly involved with intentional sabotage of a congressionally sponsored nuclear energy paradigm that was directly addressing matters connected to ethics, accountability, and taxation associated specifically with the gas and oil sector, which is not only about Texas and its prurient pastimes. You can no longer maintain that you have any authority in manipulating sensible energy policy to play these games. It's absolutely 100% demonstrated and understood that your intentional efforts to sabotage specifically the transportation sector and the safety of transportation workers is 100% aimed at nuclear sabotage. There's no insurance for sabotage. There's no insurance in acts of sabotage overtly aimed at undermining the government, whether it be the government of the people of Texas or the federal government. And there's no insurance for treason. And if you thought you were going to sit on it long enough to try to fabricate some mischaracterization so that you got insurance, I unfortunately have to inform you, you are incorrect. I have no proof that any of you have that kind of, how can I put it, accrual